Hey, what's up? This is major. You have no idea how excited I am to be sharing this with you. Now let's get into it. In September, I started what I call a Retired Items Spreadsheet. This new habit of mine is inspired by one of you. You shared how you go about it, so thank you for that. I had so much fun working on this new spreadsheet, and I hope it's of value to you. Now let's get into it. I've also published a blog post with detailed info and screenshots on how exactly I organize my spreadsheet that I'm gonna link down below. My Retired Item Spreadsheet allows me to keep track of everything that I own, how long I have something for, and when I retire it. And when I say retiring, I mean either taking it to recycling, giving it to a friend, or selling it. As you may know, I recently started a year-long shopping ban, and tracking when I purchase things and when I retire them is going to help me hugely during the ban and of course beyond. Now, what exactly is a Retired Item Spreadsheet? If you're familiar with my videos, then you know that I track all my expenses, and I've been doing so since 2014. However, keeping track of how long an item actually lasted me isn't always that easy, especially when a purchase was made years ago. A good example is a coat. I've had my winter coat now for 10 years, and 10 years ago I didn't yet track my expenses, so there's no note of it. And because I don't always want to look at it all over again, when again did I purchase this coat? The Retired Item Spreadsheet is really neat because I can make a rough note of when I purchased the item in question, and then I can make a note of when I retired it. I use Google Sheets to organize this particular spreadsheet and all my other spreadsheets. I created different tabs for different categories that simply make it a little easier for me to keep track of everything, such as outerwear, tops, bottoms, dresses, shoes, accessories, electronics. You get the idea. I simply aim to make a note of the purchase month. I don't need the purchase date. It's really unnecessary. I just need to make a note of the month and of course the year. I included purchase date, item, as well as source meaning where I purchased it or by whom it was given to me, and then there's also a notes section. And then there's also a Retired Items tab, and into this tab I copy everything that's retired, meaning if I retire a coat that's currently in outerwear, then I take that line and simply copy it into the Retired Items tab. Now, as mentioned, I just started this habit in September, and I currently only have a handful of items in my Retired Items tab. I didn't track it all the way back to 10 years ago. That would be overwhelming. I simply started with what I recently retired. That being said, I currently have pretty much all my clothing on the sheet, as well as all my electronics and everything else that I own. This was it for my Retired Item Spreadsheet. As I said, this will give me a much better understanding of how long items really last me and why. It will also greatly help me with getting a deeper understanding of the fabrics that last me and the ones that don't. And of course, it will make me so much more conscious of everything that I buy. As I said, I made a detailed blog post about this topic that I'm gonna link down below. If you have any questions, feel free to ask away. Have you ever thought of doing this? Is this something that you would consider, or are you doing this already? I would love to hear your thoughts. Have a lovely day and see you next time. Bye.